modern day masculine man, take one.
What makes a modern day masculine man?
When you drink your liquor straight.
A modern day masculine man. I pay all the bills and I tells my woman the truth. Got my shit together, do what I wanna do, say what I wanna say. I won't bend, I won't break, you are not me and I am not you. I kept it real, so now I can do what I wanna do. Modern masculine man. Welcome to Man School.
Welcome to the Modern Masculine Man Podcast, Mitch. Woo!
Yo, what's the dilly-dally in the motherfucking alley, cat? It's a beautiful day. I got my co-host, my guy here, Trab Harry. It's a Tuesday. Y'all know how we do. It's Tough Talk Tuesdays. And tonight we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to freestyle a little bit. Let me see, can I get a little slight adjustment on my Kimi ride? Yeah, we're going to freestyle a little bit. Just have a little tough talk, you know what I'm saying? We've been kind of going to a format, but I got a subject tonight that Miss Carla actually picked for me that she went through like a fly on the wall in my life, you know what I'm saying? And man, it's been a I don't call it a tough week, but it's been a week, man, where you know when you lose a friend that you had a long time, you know what I'm saying? It's tough. And then it's like the part of me that's a man want to just call my friend and rekindle the relationship with my friend. But then part of me as a man is so upset because it kind of violates my internal morals. But you miss your buddy, you know what I'm saying? So before we get into that, man, how your week going so much this week, man? Yeah, I ain't want to start off down, but I'm kind of down, man. But how you doing?
Man, I'm doing all right, man. It's been a good week, man. Hey, it's still the beginning, so hey, it ain't how you start, like they say, it's how you finish. So we all right.
We got Thomas Robinson said first time watching the show, well, brother. You tuned in, tapped in, turned on for a good show. We got Tennessee Hot Chicken. She says, I appreciate my sisters and brothers. You already know it. Yeah, man. So let me go ahead and get into it, man. Today's topic is about friendship and growth. Friendships that expire, when day ones become dead weight, loyalty versus limitation. When your day ones become your dead weight, man, and this is kind of what happened to me, but it wasn't dead weight. Let me just tell you the story.
Yeah.
You had said something on here at one time about how you and your old lady had lost a child together, and it gave y'all like a trauma bond, but a love bond. And then you had said something about seeing your kids born did something to you, right?
Yeah.
So, situation with a homeboy of mine, he got himself in a situation and had a baby with a younger girl, right? Okay, like you said, we trying to marginalize our bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Fucking around on this old lady and then had a baby with a younger girl and don't want this old lady to know. So when he find out it's time, you know, for the baby to be here and whatnot, he don't go through the process of the baby, you know, the visits here and there. You know, I've been through that. You've been through that, obviously. Going to these visits and seeing the stages and seeing the baby kick, these first moments, they kind of bond a man to a woman, like you were saying. And then he didn't want to go see the baby be born. She was upset about that. And he ain't really trying to do this DNA test. He ducking, right? And this is my man. And I'm like, well, you did what you did. You know, you're going to have to tell your old lady and, you know, step up to the plate and be a man. And he like, man, I don't know that kid. You know, I just fucked this girl, da-da-da-da. We went to school together. She come back around and we fucked one time and da-da-da and da-da-da-da. I don't know that kid. And I got a family and, you know, that I been at home for and, you know, that I do for. And if I introduce this situation into this situation, it could tear it up. So I understand them. I get it, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You got an established family already. You got established situations. You got kids at home, a wife, and you a good football coach guy. You know, you that guy. You know what I'm saying? So he finna be the goddamn butt talk of the community. You know, when you fuck up, you end up being the butt talk of the community. Coach such and such got a baby. You know his wife left him. His kids might have to lead the team. You know how this shit go. All this shit I'm thinking about. So me and him talking, and he like, well, I don't know that baby, and you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna chill and duck the girl like I've been doing. And so it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And and it's not dead weight for me because it's dead weight for my spirit because I ain't hanging around no deadbeat daddy motherfuckers, especially a man that's ducking and don't even want to know if the child is his or not. But I understand why.
Yeah,
I can't be your friend. I'm the type of nigga I hold my friends accountable, and I want my friends to hold me accountable. Now I ain't in this man's skin, and I can't tell him what to do with his life. But what you think about that, man? What
man, I think it's real life, and like you say, it's all about equations. Life is like mathematics. If you keep it simple, you keep it sweet, you become powerful in that matter. But man, people think that this ain't real life shit. When you got a committed relationship in a family and you out here cheating, sex make babies. I mean, that's what happens, man. So when you walk through the doorway of anything, you subject to everything in the room. So, but like I say, ain't nobody but the bullshit. But the bullshit will make you better if you're real enough to deal with it. I got friends that went through the same scenario, went through the same equation, was real enough to say, man, I got to hold myself accountable. They introduced the baby, they introduced the wife. A lot come with that. Hurt. They say a scorned woman is the beast of the earth. And that ain't at her fault. You got to examine the slip, and not you got to examine the fall. The slip, not the fall. So if she a beast, hey, look, man, examine what turned her into a beast. And hurt and betrayal, that's a real fucking thing that a man got to deal with when he deal it.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So I'm just saying, this real life equations, man. Like I said, we can get on social media and we can normalize and animalize natures of sex and how all this shit work together. Man, I'm just being a goddamn man. But like I say, man, nature is real. And that's what make you damn near human and not an animal when you deal with your nature in moral ways. So when we be animalistic, nah, man, we got to deal with beasts in our life. And people don't want to deal with that. And that's all like, that's how your friend is. He know he got some beasts in the cage finna hit that goddamn meat when they hurt hit.
The Bible said hell have no fury like a woman scorned. You know what I'm saying? And I was thinking about that, and I was telling him that I said, you're gonna go through it, but and I'm fucking with him as friends do, and he, how friends do. Men, we don't care what you're going through. I got a homeboy that had his foot cut off for diabetes, and we call him shortstop because he won't put a prosthetic foot on. So we've been calling this nigga shortstop about 10 years, and we do it just around him. You don't do it in public. But so he's saying, I'm like, hell have no fear like a woman scorned. I'm like, oh yeah, she gonna goddamn get that pussy away now. She gonna cheat back now. We drinking a beer, talking, having a joint like we normally do. And he gets hot. So I said, well, motherfucker, if you really want to goddamn talk about it, I tell you how I really feel. I'm just fucking with you right now.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing with my homeboy, fucking with you. Trying to comfort you like Job comforted his homeboys, tried to comfort him. But since you want to get hot, I'm like, well, shit, man. What make you think I want to be around a motherfucker that don't take care of his kids? Because I say on social media all the time, I don't know no motherfuckers that don't take care of their kids. I really don't. Yeah. I don't know any men that's on child support. If a motherfucker on child support, he don't told me. Every man that I fuck with that's in my circle is married with kids, don't have kids, or they've been married and separated, and them and their baby mama get along and they don't pay no child support. it's a certain caliber of men that quarterback situations.
Yeah.
I saw side note, I saw Swiss Beats on this show with Alicia Keys and his ex-wife, and they were sitting there side each other like we family. You know what I'm saying? We family. So certain men in the way you move, you can quarterback things. But man, you said some shit, right? That remind me of a statement my granddaddy said. I want you to goddamn add to this because I want to clip this. That shit was smooth, man. My granddaddy said, when you're dealing with a Hellcat, you made her like that because she won't like that when you met her. Again, when you're dealing with a Hellcat, you made her like that because she won't like that when you met her. Now, what he's saying is, if you sitting around complaining about how bad your wife is, you had to make her like that because you wouldn't have got with no bitch that was that bad. All the shit you saying about her, you wouldn't have got with her. But you said some shit that's so real, man. You know, when you out here acting like an animal, you got to deal with beasts in your life. When you say animal, that male nature that have a nigga out here, I hear a lot of niggas say all the time, being a stepdad is a simp or certain things, or, you know, I'm a king, I'm a lion. If I met a woman, I'd kill the kids, or, you know what I'm saying? I'm a lion. And, you know, lion got multiple wives. But if you out here saying you a lion and you lying, you know what I'm saying? You a beast. So you creating a beast in your own life. That shit was cool, man, to say your animal nature out here fucking around all the time, making these babies, is creating women that, like you call them, your divine teammate.
Yeah.
Your divine teammate, the one that you had a baby with, that you supposed to be working for the rest of your life with, you done turn into a goddamn monster beast in your life, man.
Man, you know, it's like this. Okay, let's talk real shit. Just a couple of months ago, the movie Sinners was popular. Everybody was talking about how deep it was. Everybody was in the vampires. Okay, now that woman who just had that outside baby, she know he married. For whatever logic and reason she chose to mess with this man, she know he was married. So the beast is going to be the woman who really standing in something, hoping that it's something. That's the beast. But she getting bit by another woman. They know. Just like he know. So when I say that, man, when we think about how it work, man, nature is real. We all want somebody. We all need somebody. We ain't no fucking robots. We ain't no animals. We got emotions. Let's stop making that shit weak or like it don't exist.
Yeah. We making it so like we so don't care and don't give a fuck, because you know that's the first thing my ego went to when my friend left the house is, man, I fuck him, I don't give a fuck.
Hey,
and
listen,
I sit on the floor and cry, man.
Hey, look, that's why I say, hey, man, stop acting. That's why we're getting where we at, because at the end of the day, man, when we don't stand for something, like you say, we normalize this animalistic shit. I look at loyalty like this. I got a wife, and this ain't no deep shit. If you got somebody, your significant other, man, when you hurt, when you at your weakest, when you stank, when you can't, they see you. They know you. If you can leave there and deceive. Now, I know we all go through nature. We all go through temptations. We all might goddamn lose sometime and come back and say, I made the wrong choice. But we'll have a concernment of knowing, damn. But when you can come back with no remorse.
And then hide the baby and walk around every day. You know, I told him, I said, man.
Hey, hold on. Let me say this one last piece.
Yeah, go ahead.
You are a beast. You are a beast. And here go one of the traits to know you're a beast, because a beast always want to break out of the cage. And a home with no peace is the cage for a beast. So every time somebody call your home and ask your baby where your daddy or where your mama, they say they gone. They want out the goddamn cage. Look at what you're doing. Ain't nobody above the bullshit neither. All right.
Yeah, man. You know it's crazy because when I said, man, that's like a bitch, man. He said, well, you think you this because you do this or you do this. I said, man, I'm honest. I said, but don't talk about me. We talking about you right now. I said, for you to go home as a man and cheat, we know different men have cheated before, but you go home and you at least goddamn try to barbecue that day. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, what you say is show some concern, man.
Yeah, nobody ain't got no remorse. You know what I mean, man?
I said I wanted to goddamn hit the goddamn. Hold up. I'm gonna upload some sound effects. Trab.
But look, listen at this. But the flip side of that, though, here go the major point in that. When you know someone who stands in that character,
yeah,
how dare you think they could be real to you for any moment when they can be that treacherous to somebody that really matters?
Trab, that's what I told him. I said that's like a bitch having a kid on the side and can go home, right? Go home and look at her husband every day and make this man think this his kid and hug him and go to family reunions and take goddamn pictures. And this man standing there proud than a motherfucker for years for a kid that he think he is and it ain't his. I said, think about that shit. Now you done said how dirty bitches is and how you go home, then fucking around on your old lady, but I ain't judging you for that. But you gonna go home and look at her and know you got a baby out this motherfucker and just gonna smile and smile and smile and act like ain't nothing wrong. And then when you do get discovered, because you will get discovered sooner or later, expect and beg, I'm sorry. But if you could have said that up front, you might have more remorse. And
man,
because he act like me saying he acting like a bitch worse than the whole fucking situation.
You know, like I say, dog, if you ain't gonna stand in the paint, man, hey, look, like you say, it is what it is. Like I say, man, we are, and this equation common. I got some good brothers that I call good brothers that made some bad choices, man, but they stand up in their paint and they good fathers through whatever circumstances they can be. They tied to two divine different teams, but they try and they give their all to be what you know. So you know it ain't about knocking a man or it ain't about knocking her. It's about accountability and just being real. I mean, that's what you talk about all the time. That's what it's about.
But the question that I have: when does loyalty turn into limitations? Many of us, men, we hold on to our day ones out of forever, out of man, our mamas grew up together. You know what I'm saying? You understand? Holding on to that day one, we got so many memories together. Like I said, when he left, you know, we about to go to blows. So he like, man, I'm about to get up out of your house. You know what I'm saying? Because he said, I feel like we about to go to blows. And he like, I ain't gonna fight your big ass. And you know I'm always carrying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I said, well, you know, get on up out of here, dog. You know, and he said, call me if you want me. He said, I love you. Because I always say I love you to my friend. I said, I don't love you no more, my nigga. And when the nigga left out, I'm like, fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck him. Because we went there with it. And then I sat on the floor and cried, man, thinking about my nigga, man. We put racetracks together. You know what I'm saying? So the question that I have, what do you think about that? Am I wrong? Should I have supported him or just mind my business or just let him live his life and be my friend? It's just like if one of my friends told me he was gay. I had a friend I went to high school with that played on the football and basketball team. He passed recently too. And he hit me up like, man, come holler at me. You know what I'm saying? I was in Philadelphia filming for something with Black Brilliance. He's like, man, you in my city, come holler at me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to send you an Uber. He sent me an Uber. We linked. And we at the bar, we talking, chilling, catching up on old times, and he told me he was gay after about an hour into the discussion. And I was like, man, was you gay when we was in high school playing basketball together? You know, we would hit bitches together in the same room. Like, he was smooth motherfucker. He was like, yeah, I was gay, man. You know, I was being overly athletic. And man, why you laughing, man?
Damn.
I'm talking about my dead gay homie, man. You done busted out laughing.
God damn, man.
Let me give a shout out, since it's Spiritual House Sage, antimicrobial. I'm going to get a contract with these people soon. So this is Sage I'm hitting when I'm on this show. But yeah, after he said he was gay, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, cool. You know, I ain't going to judge you. I ain't going to hold it against you, blah, 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 blah. You know, and then, you know, naturally I had to I asked him a few questions. Is this my first time being close enough to a gay person to be like, man, why you gay? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I asked him a few questions. And then after that, he was like, well, look, man, I got the club set up. I was like, man, I'm going back to the hotel, man. And he was like, come on, man, you know, we can hang in the city, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I still like women, but I'm letting you know I'm bisexual. I was like, man, you know, I felt like it wasn't nothing we had in common no more now that you gay, man, you know? So, it was that wrong. What do you think, man? You know,
I'm gonna tell you like this, man.
Motherfucker like that. Not like, you get the point.
Well, it come down to maturity. We all got people we grew up with. You know, you get to a point where you mature in manhood, and it's about who matters and what matters. And at the end of the day, who matters is my family. And expectation is the seed of disappointment. So from one man to another man, if I know what matters to me, then I don't expect nothing to matter outside of that of another man. So ain't nothing he can or can't do or say to me disappoint me, because I ain't expecting nothing from another man but a genuine moment in the conversation, the inspiration and motivation. So it comes to a level of maturity. But if you my brother and you my friend, and we the same kind that has grown through the years with a certain level of maturity together. If you got a family, man, I love you for your family and your family. Man, I know your wife and I know your kids. If you my brother, if you my friend, I'm talking about right now in real life, anybody that I call my brother and I call my friend, and if we come over here and have a conversation, and it's about a choice or a decision that he made that's going to affect what I know matters to him and that I love him for in his strength, then the only conversation it's got to be is about how you going to stand in it, how it's going to work, and how you got to goddamn bear your soul for damage control. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. But
if that ain't the case, he'll be coming around the mountain when he comes. And when they go around that mountain when they come, I say this: if I can walk to you, I can talk to you. So outside of that, ain't no disappointment, because I ain't expecting nothing from you, no way. I hope you learned some shit and dealt with some shit around your mountain. But that's as real as it get right there.
Trav, you said that shit in an old Negro spiritual way with a lot of poeticness, but it sound like straight up, it sound like you said, if that's my nigga and he ain't ready to goddamn confess up and stand in what he did, if that ain't the main conversation, then he can goddamn step. I ain't got nothing bad for you, but if I can goddamn, if you ever get your shit together, we cool again. But
yeah, go around your mountain.
Nothing for you. Yeah. And like I told him, I said, man, I promise you, man, if you goddamn, I said, man, I don't know if I can fuck with you. I said, until you goddamn, like you said, stand in your shit. Let your old lady know what's going on, because that's what we stand for. That's what we stand for as a friend. That's just like I told you, my homeboy. That was a high school friendship, but that's like me being friends with somebody that was a child molester and you find out about it. Like, man, it's like we ain't cut from the same cloth. You tricked me, you fooled me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had a different perception of you than what you really are. We ain't the same type nigga no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And especially if it's something that you've already done. Yeah. Like a lot of people say, I'm a bad guy because sometimes I say, man, I don't be hanging with no motherfucking prison niggas, no ex-cons and shit. You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, I'm saying that to say I'm always the type of man that I like to draw a line in the sand, meaning we gonna say what we gonna stand for and what we not gonna stand for.
Yeah.
We're not gonna glorify prison. We're not gonna glorify the streets. We don't care about none of your excuses that you have to make.
Yeah.
We gonna stand on and let the kids know that you did some fuck shit and you was young and you made a mistake, and ain't nothing good about that.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I say it so emphatically.
Yeah.
But I got love for everybody.
Yeah.
But
I want to tell a story, man, and it just came to me about this real life shit, right? I used to stay next door to these people, right? And the husband and the wife, they had like a neighborhood house where a lot of people would just come and drink and sit in the yard all day. So every day I would come out my doorway, I would look over there, it would always somebody to wave at, you know what I mean? But me being who I am, I saw this in two different ways. I say I can either see this as a threat or I can use it as an advantage. So, you know, me being me, I chose to intertwine with them, get to know them, at least let them understand. I don't know who y'all is standing over here outside my door next door, but I want you to know I'm a real motherfucker. How y'all doing? And introduce myself. So we became tight. A lot of them had relationships. When I would have small jobs, I always knew I had somebody that I could get to go help me. Or when I started doing home improvement by introducing myself, some of them had skills in painting. I would always call them over. So this one dude now, he was kind of older than me. He was old enough to be my daddy, but he would come over and help me paint, do home improvement. He said, bro, I'm going to tell you something real, man. I ain't never met nobody inspire me like that. So he got into a drug program and he was staying at the program. So he said, man, I told them that they need to talk to you. So this real life shit, this was the first time I ever did a seminar. I went to a drug rehabilitation place where I spoke to addicts, and I spoke to them from a child perspective to say, I love you, fight for me, right?
mm-hmm.
Changed my life. Hey, man, I'm finna do this. So this dude became something powerful in my life. But the whole time, he kept telling me, man, I met a woman. Man, she changed in my life, man. I've been wanting a woman like this forever, man. You know, he would tell me, man, you got to go, my woman coming. So the whole time, I'm like, yeah, he got him a woman. Come to find out, it was the neighbor wife. She done helped him in the yard, got him a place, and she done left the yard with the man. You understand what I'm saying? So with all he had done gave me the opportunity and we built, man, that broke my heart. And I remember, man, this real life shit, man, looking at somebody in the eyes old enough to be my daddy. I'm telling him, man, I ain't for, man, hey, look, man, hey, man, if you can do that to that man, and that man gave you somewhere to lay your head, don't you ever come around me and my family again, dog. I said, that's some real life shit.
Yeah.
And I stood on that. I stood on that, man. So on some real life shit, like I said, if you don't stand for something,
Yeah.
and if somebody can really show you their fangs and show you their teeth, you don't goddamn believe it. Hey, look. At this point, it ain't about them no more. This about you. What kind of motherfucker is you?
Ah,
What kind of motherfucker you, man? Hey, look, yeah, going to this shit right here. Yeah, you got to clean these motherfuckers out because, yeah, real life shit.
man, let me tell you something, boy. When I tell you funny than a motherfucker.
I know, I'm telling you goddamn truth, though. God, hey, like my granddad say, the God in him truth now. Hey, look, if I'm lying, I'm flying. I'm still on the ground now.
But I just be listening to these sayings and how you talk. It's like, I like it because I remember when I first heard, because we freestyling tonight, but we own the subject. We gonna move forward. But I first heard Goody Mob and Outkast. I liked them so much because they sounded like I sounded. You know, I never heard, I didn't listen to fucking UGK when I was young or none of the Southern rappers. Only thing I heard Southern when I was younger was some that Luke bullshit. Doop, doop, doop. I ain't like that shit. All that humping, dancing and shit. But when Outkast dropped and goddamn Good and Mob dropped and listening to their music, them saying the shit that I heard growing up was so fucking cool. So I kind of worship them guys, and I kind of pattern my. That's why I ain't getting no trouble, you know, coming up. How they always talk about Jed Clampett, Bill Clampett, and how you know, just get up, get out, get something. You know what I'm saying? That type shit. So that's what made me like you. You talk like I talk, and these old sayings with little rhymes in the middle. I hope people be listening at this shit, man. But when that nigga said, somebody show you they fangs. So we've been talking about the movie Sinners. So it's like you always still on track. And nigga said, when somebody show you they fangs.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, you see what I'm saying, man? Like I say, man, he ain't shit to who matter. You gotta know you don't matter, and you in the equation with this motherfucker.
Motherfucker steal your goddamn generator if you turn your back on him, if he get back on that shit. You know, David Banner said this guy told him he don't do business with nobody that cheat on his wife. Like you saying, because he said it's like, if you cheating on your old lady, the one that love you the most, or the one that's supposed to have your back the most, that you supposed to be the most loyal to, he was like, he won't do a business with a nigga. Like he said the dude said when he meet me and they do business, he go out of town with them. I mean, like go out with them to see how they do if they married, see if they cheat on their wife. Michael Collier, they asked him who was like the baddest motherfucker, the most guy that he admired the most, and he said Bernie Mac. You know who Michael Collier is, the comedian?
Yeah.
I smoke crack. He said, man, Bernie Mac was a man. He said he said what he said and he did what he did. He said after every show, he said he toured from Bernie Mac 2 years. Every show, Bernie Mac get a steak and go back to the hotel. You know what I'm saying? He said, man, Bernie Mac said, I ain't fucking around on my old lady. My old lady been there. He was like, Bernie Mac is the realest motherfucker. He knew, like real talk.
Well, you know, Javon, is like, it ain't no superpower, and it ain't like about being perfect, and it ain't about none of that type shit. It's simply saying that you are as faithful. And I ain't talking about just no sex shit. I'm talking about anything in a temptation type way. You are as faithful as the circumstances and situations you put yourself in.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Yeah. Say that again, because people be acting like they slipped in some pussy or something happened to them or somebody set them up. Say that again, because that is we gonna clip that. Man, say that again. That is the most profound thing I've heard. And I ain't talking about just fucking.
Hey, look, you are as faithful as the circumstances and situations you put yourself in. We all got a nature. We all want the same thing. We all go through the same emotional scale, envy, jealousy, whether they last for a moment and we turn it into motivation, inspiration. Some people get stuck in the moment. So when they get stuck in moments they don't know how to come out of, they deal with them in that way. And when you start to get in that type of way, you start to goddamn do any goddamn thing and move anywhere to do it. So it's simply saying that I only make a way to break away. Or I only break away to make a way. So, like you say, marginalizing the bullshit.
You only as faithful as you put situations you put yourself in. It's like a person that's an alcoholic going to his class reunion with his friends that he grew up with. And they're like, man, we're going to the bar afterwards. And it's like, well, I'm gonna come with y'all, but he's saying to himself, I ain't gonna have a drink. But he ain't told him he don't drink no more because he's scared they're gonna say, what? You was goddamn Hank the Tank when we was in college. So he put himself in that situation and end up taking a drink and relapsing, and then saying his homeboys got him drunk. I wanted to give a real life example of that outside of cheating. And that goes with any situation down to procrastination. You know what I'm saying? In your own life, getting things done, not getting shit done. What are you doing? Sometimes,
Or I asked the question, who got access to you?
yeah, exactly.
Like that's a simple question. Who got access to you? And what do these people do with the access? Those are situations and circumstances that you totally got.
When we evolve, man, I heard that sound before.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that'd be somebody calling you on Messenger or something.
Yeah, that must be what it is.
But it's all good. It ain't that much of a distraction.
Yeah.
High step on it.
Because last time that shit happened, I done damn fucked around and did something, turned the whole live off trying to damn. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. So it's a situation where maybe that's my Bluetooth phone. I was trying to see them, but I don't know.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, man, you know, at the end of the day, man, simplify life, man. Keep it simple, man. Life real out here and life. And if you look in that mirror and you can lie to yourself, then you can't expect nothing to come true to you once you leave out of it. Ask yourself some real shit in the mirror. Ask yourself who matters and what matters to them. Simplify that, man. I'm telling you, you know, this ain't deep. I'm trying to talk through the toggling sound.
Man, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna just turn my phone off, man. All the way off. It's got to be something associated with my phone. Like you said, somebody must be trying to call me on Messenger.
Because it stopped now. It stopped now. Yeah.
Yeah. So, man, like you said, man, when we put ourselves in situations or make ourselves accessible to certain type of people, that's how I felt about my homeboy. I'm like, now you are a snake within my circle. Because now you're doing snake shit. It's like that old saying, there's no honor amongst thieves, right? So me and Trab go out and do a robbery together and we kill somebody to take all the money. And then you turn around and pull the gun on me. And I said, man, what the hell going on? Man, what you mean? We just killed somebody together. I'm finna kill you for the money now. Like, what make you think that a motherfucker, like you said, once they show you their teeth, like, you can't expect that loyalty amongst thieves. You
yeah. And one of the things about this too, like I say, when you talk about your kind ain't always defined by the material level you own or financial. I think your kind is the ones that really can have a genuine moment with you. And when you know you feel that amongst somebody, then all that other shit kind of get faded to the black. So it's like this right here. I want to give a real example. Like I always had this lesson where I say, I get in the lion's den with real lions, right? So I got a theory called Grandma House. Growing up at Grandma House, Grandma had 9 kids, 12 kids. Realistically, 4 grandma kids got caught off in cocaine or drugs or whatever during that era, right? They stayed in the hood. The parents stayed in the hood. 2 or 3 of them worked at what we call Southern Bell, UPS. They were the ones in the 70s that you had 3, 4 aunts or uncles like that was kind of the upper echelon. Then you had 2 or 3 journeymen that lived in the middle. So all their kids would come to Grandma's house, and you had all the different levels of black people in one place under one family love. Well, your cousin at Grandma's house was hell in the jungle. You understand what I'm saying? He was fucking raw. The same cousin who mama worked at Southern Bell went to a HBCU. The same one who was in the middle worked on cars. But all y'all had a sense of a genuineness that no matter what level y'all was on, y'all learned from each other, right? So when you go out there in the real world and you just know how to be genuine, like, man, I done sat with killers in the morning, laughing, talking. And if you walked up, you would say, man, who are these goofy motherfuckers? And I say they killers, but they on my time. They in the daylight. And I'm cool with them being killers because I ain't got no reason to deal with them at night. See how that works?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying, man? So once again, if you know you're a killer, I ain't saying that could be your cut. What if you know they ain't shit? That's cool too. If you can accept them for who they is, but you got to know who you is enough to know the situations and circumstances that you deal with them on. Gonna always be some real shit.
Man, let's caveat because I feel like we didn't really had a good discussion about this because it's about losing friends and evolving, and that loyalty shit is that shit dies, man. That shit dies.
Coming back to you. He coming back to you. He just got to go around his mountain.
Yeah.
Have some real conversation in his head. Get him a game plan together. And get ready to deal with what come with it. But he'll come back around the mountain and hold his hand up, boy. He gonna
have to go up the rough side of that motherfucker. He want to go up the smooth side of the mountain. It ain't nothing to grip. It ain't nothing to grip. You got to go to them. I'm coming up
on the rough side. For real. For real. And ain't no other way. Ain't no other way.
Yeah.
Once you want, hey, look, in this real life shit, that's for him and her. I know we're gonna caveat, but let me say this: this is a real life equation and an illusion, man. Like just on this here Facebook, you see some of the most beautifulest black women that seem to got it all together. I'm talking about houses, cars, jobs. They have babies. The babies get grown. You don't see no daddy. And it's almost like the illusion that I had to ask myself to say that this woman seems so much of a standard. I just can't imagine how even a man who wouldn't even handle his responsibilities even got close to her like that. But it's always that equation.
Yeah. She
wasn't a choice. He stayed where he was. Always the equation.
Yeah, man. I know exactly what you mean. I see a lot of beautiful women that sometimes I know they too good for men. Too good for a certain type of man. And I wonder, and then sometimes they talk to me and I realize it ain't that no guys don't talk to them. They done been hurt so goddamn
bad.
You know what I'm saying? That they ain't even got it in them. The wall up when they meet me, and they ain't even got it in them to try to. I say, yeah, you too good for a man. And when I say that, they automatically get a little smile excitingly, like, tell me why. And I explain, you got this and your credit and this, and nigga got to come correct. You hopping out of a white Benz with an AKA sign on the front, and and then once I build them up, granddaddy say you got to tear them down. Once I build them up, I say, yeah. So you done been hurt so bad that a man can't even get close to you. Boy, they break down. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it be. Those type of women like that. But yeah, man.
Hey, look, I gotta get in there. But let me say this though. I want to say this. That's some real life shit. But it ain't about good or bad or right or wrong. That's real life shit. And she don't think nobody know what you saying.
Yeah.
She looking around now and like, shit. But look, that's real life shit. And the soul can't keep no secret that behavior won't reveal.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
That's one of my favorite lines. You say a soul can't keep no secret. We gonna see it on you.
Come on, man.
See it on you. Come
on, man. The baby, hey, look, the baby ain't came. Hey, look, she ain't married. The baby ain't came from nowhere. Oh, you see. Come on, we know somebody fucking you.
Yeah, my granddaddy said, "I ain't got to ask you how you doing, what's going on. I can look at you and tell it's gonna come out." You know what I'm saying? It's gonna come out. We can look at it and tell when you're doing better, when you're doing worse. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, we ain't got a caveat, but I'm tired of talking about this motherfucking nigga, man. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But I wanted to touch that subject because as you grow, man, it's time you're gonna have to shed people out of your life just based on their actions. And it ain't gotta be dead weight, don't necessarily mean borrowing money from you and shit. Dead weight could be weighing on my spirit. Like, how we gonna sit down around and play Monopoly and drink and chill like we do? And I'm sitting here, I grew up without a daddy, slapping five with you, and you don't even want to see who your kid is.
Hey, look,
I as niggas like you.
man, it's about time. It's about time. If I leave my wife and children to come spend time with you. Now, whatever we gonna do with our time, whether we talking, drinking, chilling, smoking, or if you come over to my house and I got to tend to you in the time that we kicking it,
Yeah.
this shit got to be about something. We got to break this huddle and feel like we finna go make a first down in some type of goddamn way.
This nigga said if I got to tend to you, boy, you funny as hell.
No, but you feel what I'm saying, man? If we're gonna spend time together on the phone, whatever, when we break this huddle, it got to work in some type of way for whatever it was worth that you feeling like you finna go score a touchdown or a first down.
Yeah, because man, that's something that I want to touch on as men, you know, because you said it tended to somebody. It's funny because that's so southern in country. It's like your nigga come over or you meet a person. Like I met my guy Chris K Dog Mayfield, and I'm like I got to tend to him, and that can come from country folks say pay attention. You know what I'm saying? But also administer. But long story short, he bought food here. We ate, but I still had to give him some of my time. And as a man, you know what I'm saying? I love my wife and I love my daughter and I love being in my house. I do my podcast right here from my house. I got my studio in my house. I done redid a new studio in the garage, and I'm gonna be doing a podcast streaming from, making some music live, new camera set up for that. And I'm just a happy motherfucker. So if I'm talking to you, I gotta feel like it's some goddamn granddaddy said some damn wood in the fire.
Hero training. Some hero training.
Yeah, some finna goddamn happen. That's that people say, who is the guy Trav you on the podcast with? I said, watch, motherfucker. You'll see why we up there talking. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking to no motherfucker, and I only do my podcast Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because this shit is a dedication. These lights, you look how good your shit look. You know what I'm saying? People think this shit is just some nigga hopping on the mic talking. We the type of people, we didn't want to get into this shit until we doing it a certain way, that because we feel like we leaders. But the fact of the matter is, man, I'm not tending to nobody unless it's some real shit going down, some goddamn Bears and Bubble School hero training type shit going down.
I mean, hey, look, at the end of the day, I remember one time I was over my homeboy house and his old lady had a list of names on the table, right? This was a long time ago. And I say, she was steady right now. I say, what's all them lists? What's all them for? She say, these are all the people that I deal with. And if they don't do nothing for me, I'm crossing them off. And I say, this is a teachable moment. I say, well, what if the ones you cross off ain't on there? You meant to do something for them. And she said, I ain't never thought about it like that. So great givers make great getters. If my homeboy call and say, hey man, what's up? And my homeboy's in it's a cipher of brothers. So if he said, what's up, man? What you got going on? And I ain't doing nothing. And I check with my old lady, and I check with my wife and say, hey, baby, such and such gonna come through. That's all right. She say, yeah. And in most cases, we can have an open moment or whatever. I'll know the temperament if he really need to talk about something or deal with something. But at the end of the day, bro, come tomorrow. So if he need to know how to deal with a search with just somebody him. What's up, man? Well, I go home. You know what I'm saying? She gonna say. That's all he got to say. Because whatever she gonna say, my she done said or gonna say too, and we just gonna conversate, joke about it, laugh about it, deal with it, and then I might say, man, you ain't going through shit. Or I might take her side just to kick his ass, to help him understand something. But at the end of the day, come tomorrow, he finna go run the play.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you got to do your nigga like that. Take her side on him. You know what I'm saying? Man,
Yeah.
it's a situation where when you look at life and the older and older you get, your circle's supposed to be smaller, but it's supposed to be truer. You know, Jay-Z said, what that nigga they said, ain't many of us. I says less is more, nigga, it's plenty of us. It's like in the Bible when Elijah took the people up on the hill and they said, man, we outnumbered. And he said, hold up, close your eyes, open and look around. And they saw the soldiers and horses and fire, the angels of the Lord right there. So it's like, I'm at a point in my life where I don't need a lot of friends and stuff around me because I am the giver. You see what I'm saying? At this point in my life, I'm the giver, and I'm only connected with givers. You see what I'm saying? It's like I'm at the point where anybody I meet is gonna be somebody I'm mentoring or somebody I'm learning from. I ain't trying to meet nobody on my level no more.
That's what we got. We all we need.
Yeah.
Who's ever, like we said, we talk about divine, and I don't want to say that in no mystical type way. I'm just talking about the people that's in your path. You don't know how they got there, but they're there. Whether it be at work, you got to deal with them every day. You've been dealing with them every day for the past 16 years. Well, however you want to see it, they've been divine in your path. You got to understand everybody got a purpose, everybody got a part. You got a position in that shit. Once you realize that, man, like I say, we all we got, we all we need. Everything you need right there around you. You know, I want to say this. I talk about the mason, the carpenter, the plumber, and the electrician. That's earth, wind, water, and fire. Get 4 friends that know how to do them. We all we got, we all we need. So just like you, brother, we give each other opportunity, something add. We add to each other. 1 + 1 = 2. We powerful together. Regardless of how powerful we are separate. We need some more people to come. Why not?
Hey man,
we don't die, we multiply.
You can't just gloss over that shit. Say that shit again. The mason, the carpenter, the plumber, the electrician, the earth, wind, fire, and water.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to say that again, man. That's cool. That's cool because those are the real elements. And then that's crazy how you turned it, like showed it in professions.
Well, like you say, man, that's God, nature, the elements. Earth, wind, water, and fire. When you talk about, and you know this, when you talk about fire, you're talking about the sun. Yeah. You're talking about, you know, that come down. When you're talking about earth, when you're talking about water, wind, that's what make it work. But electrician harnesses the fire. A plumber challenges the water. A mason builds the brick that blocks the wind. A carpenter builds the walls, the chairs in the living quarters. See, like even in life, we don't really understand how much we got, we all we need. We just always focus to particular one thing. Like it's some people that'll say, I'm a mason. I know something you don't know. Well, Jesus was a carpenter. I ain't got to know what you know. I know what I know. Mm-hmm. See how that works?
Yeah.
And if we know something different, and in variations, then look how powerful we are when we come together.
Yeah.
See, that's why, man, come on, man. Yeah.
So what's going on? What's going on in the world you want to talk about, man? What's going on in the world? Because you know what I'm saying about it was something I had shared on Facebook the other day, and you had commented. What was that, man? I'm trying to caveat because it make me think about my homies.
You say something
It was something I had said on Facebook the other day, and you commented on it. I'm just trying to change the subject.
yeah. Yeah, I want to talk about a point you made about Fat Joe, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to make a comment about that, man. Like I say, man, I watched the video the other day looking at his legs. You know what I mean, man? And then you hear all of this tough talk. And I'm just saying, I'm an athlete. I grew up an athlete. One of the things I had to know how to do was to look at a man's stance, look at a man's posture, to know how he can react when I'm sick. You know what I'm talking about, man? So it's like, looking at his legs and hearing all this bravado, it kind of like in 5 years it's gonna be like we did with wrestling. I remember when I was young, we would have hell of a debates if wrestling was real or fake. And now nobody
believes
ever think that shit real. So I think that's what's gonna happen with rap in the next couple of years.
I think it's already happened, especially with us when a rapper get on TV and say how somebody fucked him out of a deal and he won't making no money, and now they breaking down how nobody's really making no money and a record deal is really a loan and you got to pay this back and you never recoup and you become a slave. You know what I'm saying? And these kids, I think that's why they're trying their best to really do the dope and do the drugs and shoot and kill and get hats and tears on their face. They're trying to make this shit real because it's the only thing they ever saw that had the slightness of realness, because hip hop, rap, it's the only thing that we have contributed to the culture of America. So if this thing becomes, this bravado machismo becomes totally fake, then we are nothing as black men, because all we really have as a whole and looked at in this country and globally is that we some tough motherfuckers. Think about that. When you think the black man in America and what he contributes to the planet, and what he is and what's his glow and what's his, it's a cool, tough motherfucker, right? Think about it.
Yeah.
Cool, tough motherfucker. We don't think about black men as fathers or business owners, although we have that. But when globally, I'm talking about, I done traveled, man, and I hear what people talk about America in general, but especially as black men, they think we cool and we can fight.
Yeah, well, like I say, you know, the hip hop culture, like you say, the hip hop and the rap culture, that defines black people throughout the world. And that ain't no derogatory type of thing. That is what it is. Like you say, that's just who we are. When they think about America, they think about the big chain, they think about the big car, like you say, everything they see. But on the flip side, that's how they see our women. I remember my cousin had went to South Africa. And he was telling me one of the things that was deep was it was like a group of them. So all of their wives had a horrible trip because they were being so much disrespected by just the culture itself over there. And they was like, they only see the image of a black woman through, like you say, that debauchery shit, exactly. the horror culture. The only time they see a black woman over there, she's over there. I can't forget the word, but she was over there to kind of like meet over there at the resort as like a high-end prostitute. So they didn't have no regards or respect towards none of my cousins and his friend wives. So no, that's a real thing, man. But that's our fault because we make that popular. You know what I mean? We can't blame that on the white man. We can't blame that on nobody. Matter of fact, I want to say this. I drop my son off every morning at 6:15 for football, high school football. I watch 170 out of 170. They only got 2 white boys on JV and varsity. I watch 170 young black men get out of the cars with their parents and go prepare through discipline and sacrifice and commitment. And they 30 high schools in Charlotte. Man, you couldn't get an army of YNs. You couldn't find an army of YNs right now on any given morning with what we got. But we know what a YN is and not what these young men are becoming. And it's deeper than football.
Hey, speaking of YN, man, I live in Durham, and the mayor of Durham actually came out and said, we have a problem in the city, and the YNs are doing this. And man, it's really gotten national news because he won't apologize. He said he won't apologize for it. Now, I don't really give a fuck about the whole aspect of him wanting to apologize, and that I want the nigga fired. I'm gonna tell you why. It's for him to sensationalize to me and popularize a word. Now it's got white people in the city saying it. You know what I'm saying? To me, once something become popularized, it's over. I don't know if you remember, I had said the black fist. I said once Beyonce did the right fist up at the Super Bowl, I said that's over. That's popularized. My undergrad in college is social psychologist, so it's like I understand pop culture makes something so popular. That's why it's called pop culture. Once something become pop culture, it becomes normalized. Say, for example, Chris Tucker said he didn't want to do any more Fridays because he didn't smoke weed and he grew up in the church. He was like, he didn't know that movie was going to become such a cultural icon. So it popularized smoking weed. And his name was Smokey. And everybody, little sayings from the movie, take 2 puffs and pass. He got so many little motherfucking sayings in that movie that dropped because of him and weed. And he was like, he didn't want that to be what he was known for. So he didn't do any more Fridays.
Now, hold on. Think about how powerful that is.
Yeah, that's
you say. But look. This is what's wrong with us, and I'm talking about all of us. We all be acting, thinking don't nobody know or see the real you. Look at what that man did by acting.
Yeah,
out his whole identity forever to the opposite end of the spectrum of who he really is.
Yeah.
Man, that's powerful.
And he'll forever be known as Smokey. Not the guy from Rush Hour or the guy from, blah, blah, blah. All the other great shit he did. Money Talks, I think, was one of the funniest movies ever with him. With what's the guy, short little white guy name? I forgot his name. He said, "What the fuck is that?" But yeah, man, it's funny because, and I learned, I'm like the spook that sat beside the door, and having a master's in education, they teach you how to manipulate and trick people and how to get people's brain to open up to certain things. So the point I'm making is we don't understand what pop culture does. I say it all the time. I wanted to be an Air Force pilot growing up. I had took the ASVAB in the 9th grade. I had scored high on it, and I was going to the Air Force. I was going to try to fly planes. And Boys in the Hood dropped my 10th grade summer. And come on, man, this is one of the first cultural movies that we had. Hip hop, Ice Cube and that motherfucker. Boys in the Hood, Cuba Gooding Jr. And just in that movie, the contradictions of a motherfucker just writing the script, not even thinking about what he's saying, and affected my life and so many people's lives. There was a scene in the movie where he was cutting Trey hair. He said, a lot of your friends was fucked up, Trey. A lot of my friends was fucked up. I went to the military and I got this GI Bill. That's how I started my business and got my house. And then 2 scenes later, they was out on the street. He's smoking a cigarette, and they looked up. It was a sign for the army. He said, "Don't never go to the military, Trey. That ain't no place for a black man." Now, this is some shit where this motherfucker just writing some scenes for his goddamn movie, contradicted itself, and it made me say, man, I ain't going to the military. That ain't no place for no black man. Now, I'm a young, impressionable mind, so I can admit that I did that as a result and altered the course of my life. And I got a lot of friends that went to the military, and they doing my age and very successful because they didn't retire, blah, 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 all that shit. But the point I'm overall making is this nigga then wrote some scenes and some niggas and did some acting, and it altered the course of my life. A lot of men won't admit that they wanted to sell weed or dope because of Jeezy and wanted sneakers and to act like the rappers. But we know that this shit influences us. So I can be a man and say that. But sometimes niggas won't admit that because the way when I say, shit, y'all motherfuckers know y'all wanted to be like some of these rappers motherfuckers and wanted to be like Nino Brown. And so you was easily influenced, motherfucker. And they don't like that. But I'm saying the same thing when I said that movie. I was easily influenced. I just didn't fall victim to what y'all was influenced by.
Real.
What's something in hip hop culture, a movie or something that has influenced you in a positive way, and was something that's influenced you in a negative way? Something that you know, good goddamn well, you looked at on TV or heard in a song that you didn't try or wanted to do, or you see what I'm saying?
I would say hip hop influenced the drug culture, and I was influenced by that amongst my cousins. And I say that to say I learned how to shine out of that culture. Like you say, my cousin was the first one to pipe a Chevy out like they did in California. I'm talking about all the way, and I would drive around the club scene at 16 and 15, really looking like the people in the rap video. So, like I told you, I hooked up my first car when I was 16, all in that type, knowing how to shine. I was the first person had real gold teeth like they had. So, I was influenced by that culture. But I want to say this going back. I remember when I was in the 6th grade, this real life shit, and all my friends were in the 9th grade. I was the youngest on the street. And I remember they was going to a club, and one of my friends, Scoot, his daddy had a Cadillac. And so I asked my dad, I say, Daddy, can I go to the club with them? They going to the club. And he knew they was my real friends. So he said, yeah. He said, what time the club closed? I say, I asked them, I said, what time the club closed? They said 2 o'clock. My daddy said, you better be home by 2:30. Now I'm in the 6th grade. But I'll never forget the first day I went to the club. That so Funkified came out. So Funkified. That and then the Outkast. That and Outkast came out at the same time. Mm-hmm. And I was riding in a Cadillac, 2 dope boys in a Cadillac. And man, I couldn't wait to drive to feel that. And I felt that every time I got them drove for the rest of my life. To this day, I feel. Hey, look. So yeah. It gave me a shining culture. And I'm just thankful. And I say this on some real shit. I'm thankful in life that I learned that I could do that and shine like that, and not have to be anything derogatory like the other side of the culture gave us to say was the way.
Yeah, man, because I made a video the other day. Cats got hot. A couple of little cats hit me up that I know that was in the streets. And I'm like, shit, what I'm supposed to not make the video because I know y'all motherfuckers? I said, certain men fucked the game up where you at one time you had to go to the mall and talk to girls and get a number and wait a couple of days to call, or back in college you might can see a girl and meet her and get a little bottle of Nouveau or something or Hypnotic, and y'all meet up and kick it and chill. For you know it, y'all friends, you didn't got the pussy. And then it's like they got to the point where the dope boys just started giving women shit. Just giving shit, big shit. Like, goddamn, and you ain't giving it to no good, upstanding women because they don't deal with you. So you dope boy spending on the hood rats. too much.
That culture became how you was cool. Like we say, that's what the girls wanted. That's what the women want now. When 20-inch rims came out, if you had some 20s, you could ride down what we call Beatties Ford and goddamn clean house, street off some goddamn 20-inch rims. But I want to say this though, even going back to your homeboy point, and going back to the acting point. So you had dudes, man, that was, I call them late bloomers.
Yeah.
They wasn't that cool in high school. They wasn't that cool in junior high. They got to be about 35 or 40. They finally got that truck driving job to go get them a nice ass car and have money. And now they got a family and they can't deal with what the hell they need to deal with. So they finally get to go act like they goddamn cool. Them be the motherfuckers who make the baby.
Yeah.
Them late blooming motherfuckers. I'm gonna call you out on the motherfucking line. Them late blooming motherfuckers who ain't never knew how to shine when it was the time, but now they get to go act like what they always wanted to be.
And exactly like you say, it's a baby with some bitch he knew from back in the day that he always wanted.
Yeah,
you know
Now he got a truck driving job. He can drive a BMW, and that motherfucker
or can afford a passport to go trick in another country. Now he talking tough.
Yeah, and ain't a motherfucking thing real about it. Ain't nothing real about
it. I call them niggas that paid child support throughout their 20s and was broke. And now that they off child support, they got an extra $900 to fuck off.
And let me say them, it's two different kind of people can be in the same situation. See, you got some men out here who go through real shit at home, and they got a real nemesis out there in that world where the world will attract their weaknesses, and they get caught up in situations where, goddamn, hey, look, like I say, they got to stand on it, but they wasn't out looking for it. It came looking for them. And some people really deal with some shit, and these dudes normally try to make it through and make the best out of it. That's a different type of man than the motherfucker who wake up at the beginning of a new day with intentions to act like. I ain't got no pity for that motherfucker.
Yeah, my granddaddy said you got to pay what you weigh. Pay what you weigh now. That's what he said. Them white folks used to tell him back in the day. I used to say, wonder where he got these sayings from. Then as I got older, pay what you weigh. If a black person touched anything, you had to buy it. Because they like, shit, we ain't letting niggas come in here and touch shit. The white man, he can dip in the flour, put it in the bag, you know. If it's too much, he can take a little bit back out and put it out. But if the black man put it in the goddamn bag, if it's too much, hey, you ain't putting it back, and you didn't niggerize it. Pay what you goddamn weigh, nigga. Anything is the black man you put on the scale, you got to pay that because you touched it. You know how you go to the grocery store and you said you're getting some goddamn apples, and they said apples are $3.99 a pound. And you put one apple up there, two apples up there, three apples up there, and that's go up to $1.50. You said, now let me take that one out. They said, now nigga, you touch that, pay what you weigh.
Hey, look, boy, I ain't never thought about this right there. Hey, look, I'm gonna say some more. Hey, look, there might be some shit in the genetics, cause well, I done knew some trees dudes that could eyeball some shit, goddamn.
Oh yeah.
Hey, look, I'm talking about, boy, that boy was a straight up eyeballer. Never missing. Man, hey, look, I ain't never realized that was a gift.
Yeah, hell yeah. My goddamn granddad used to say that shit. Look, when I was, it's funny because, you know, when I was a kid, things that you go through in your family that become what's accustomed, what they call generational curses, right? I had an uncle that used to grow trees, and he used to, back in the day, I felt like as a kid, I remember them throwing the buds away, like they kept the leaves, because it seemed like that's what it was, or either they chopped the buds up. Either way, my uncle taught me how to roll a joint, and he was like, if you roll 100 of these, I give you $10. and I would sit there and roll joints as a kid. Now this motherfucker what make him think I ain't gonna turn into a reefer smoke? He giving me $10 to roll 100 joints.
Hey, look.
The generational curses that they say.
Looking back on it, like my granddad would say. That's what my granddad would say. If I used to sit on the porch and talk to my granddad. And if I told him that story, that's what my granddad would say about his old son. He wasn't shit then, and he ain't shit now.
hey, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. Yeah, I remember growing up.
Why would he do that to that boy like that?
Yeah. Me and my brother was, we go jogging together in the morning, and we was talking about growing up and how uncles would. Some uncles, like you said, grandma had grandma's house. You got goddamn 12 kids. You got 2 uncles that are go in the store and get you some alcohol if you buy them one.
Hey,
you
look.
You see what I'm saying?
Let me say this, and this on some real shit. Boy, you just hit a chord on me. Back to grandma's house. It was always that uncle who didn't work, who didn't go nowhere. Like they say in soul food, Uncle Pete. You ain't never know Uncle Pete to have no type of social life. Like you say, this real life shit.
Yeah.
This real life shit. Ain't nobody never known what was wrong with her. Mm-hmm. But she crazy as hell. Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody gonna put the pieces together cause accountability come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, look, but I'm gonna tell you this, but that's why I talk about nature. See, when you're talking about a man, if a man don't fuck the body, or fuck himself. And Uncle Pete was real. Had a lot of grandma houses. That's what's wrong with her.
Yeah.
For real. That's some real life shit.
Yeah, look, grandma sent him a plate. He sent him a plate across the field, but say, y'all get y'all goddamn ass from down there, goddamn Uncle Pete house. Because she already know what time it is with Uncle Pete. But
I want to tell her get some real shit. Hey, look, ain't your fault. Let that shit out and let that shit go, and and know that Uncle Pete didn't fuck you up like he thought he did. Fuck Uncle Pete. But I know that shit real. Let that shit go. Exactly. Let it out.
Hey, Trab, Uncle Pete get a check. So his sister makes sure he good. She feed him. He got them, give her some of his check, give her his check. She manages money. That's how the fucking perverts stay hid in the family. And motherfucker be doing shit. That's my brother. That's my brother. That's my brother. You ain't gonna tell me this on my brother. That's family. Be like, grandma, that motherfucker get a check. Cut the shit out.
Hell yeah. They real black. Hey, black folk, goddamn. It's been a while since we talked. Shit.
Hey, man, I said Fat Joe, Fat Joe said he robbed this goddamn gym class, and the kids he robbed helped carry the shit. I said, man, is this nigga getting old and going senile in front of us, or is he really thinking we believe in this shit? Like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, you got to look at it like this too, man. I'm talking real life shit. I know his kind that ain't famous, that ain't rich.
True.
Like I say, I know a lying motherfucker that told me he had a murder charge and a baby at 12. And all I can say, well, you were really 12-year-old in the history, but everybody know he lying. He a liar.
Yeah.
He gonna tell a lie, and that's cool. They all right, man. They gonna always be. You just got to be real enough to know. You got to be real enough to know not to get mad at a lie when he lying.
Can I ask you a question, since we're speaking of that? Why nobody ever tells a fucking liar that he's a fucking liar? And I used to work on this job, quick scenario to set up. And I know you've been on the job with the fucking company liar, but doing factory work, right? This motherfucker lies when we eat lunch. You know when I'm gonna tell you when they come out, breakfast or lunch, right? You know when you eating and everybody get good into eating and it get quiet for a second, and it's like quietly eat. Motherfuckers is eating and it get quiet for a second. That's when he coming out with the lie.
Yeah.
He hates silence, right? He hates silence. So everybody call him lying ass such and such. I ain't gonna say his name because he worked with me. And I'm gonna be famous one day, and this story gonna come out. That might be why I had to say it, lying ass Kenny. And everybody said lying ass Kenny, goddamn it. Lying ass Kenny. Everybody know this shit. Soon as he get quiet doing breakfast or lunch, this motherfucker come up with a lie. So one day, I got so sick of it. I'm the young man on the job. The young man in there building all the shit, building shit fast. So I'm coming up, I'm known, but I'm the young man on the job. And everybody said lying ass Kenny. I ain't gonna respect the older man, but that nigga come out again doing lunch. It's quiet. Niggas eating. Yeah, man, I saw a goddamn car hit a car head on this morning on the damn freeway, such and such. I said, hey, man, I know I ain't that old. I said, I'm 25 years old. I might have eyewitnessed one wreck in my life. Somehow you see 3 a week.
Yeah.
Man, everybody just bust out laughing because it's like I told this motherfucker, why is you lying? But I didn't say it like that. Now think about this, Trab, in your own life right now. 45, 46-year-old man. How many eyewitness car crashes have you seen?
Not that many.
This is his number one lie that he used when it's quiet. He seen a car wreck. Man, somebody jumped, got hit. This motherfucker always seeing a car wreck. And I just couldn't take it no more. But why don't nobody tell the liar that he lies? It's like a court jester. We like, what's going on with that?
Well, man, I swear you told a story, man, the same way mine is. I work with this guy named Jerome, and he was like that, but he was real built. I mean, he was like a little stocky Shrek motherfucker. He could pick up a goddamn back end of a car. He would go out and show you how strong he was. So like you say, during break time, he was gonna pop off with a lie, but I was like his handler. So everybody in the break room looking like, under their breath, this motherfucker lying. So I get the signal from across the room. Go ahead and get it started. You telling a motherfucking lie. Man, stop that goddamn lie. Then he go, you telling a lie. Then me and him got the argue. You know what I mean? Everybody would just wait for the lie and then wait for me to go handle him. But, man, he would tell something, like you say, man, he would just tell some of the most craziest lies you could ever hear. Well, he meant it from his soul, too. And he knowed he was lying.
He meant it from his soul.
He knowed he was lying. And knowed that my granddad say, he knowed he was lying.
I look at hip-hop and, like I said in that video I made, Styles P said, we sold drugs because we wanted sneakers. He said it. I've been saying this for years, and niggas be like, man, my mom, no, man, you lived in the projects. Your mama got Medicaid, food stamps, light bill paid. Y'all was straight. Y'all had, you wanted some better clothes, nigga. Be accountable. And so we see that shit really, really is a mixture of nothing but lies all together.
Yeah. And I'll say this. The ones that were really good at selling drugs, they never struggled. They were good at money, and they always had money. You see what I'm saying? They knew how to. It was more about knowing how to make money more than it was about survival. So that's one illusion. If they were struggling or saying I had to eat, then they ain't never make no money or did anything to be identified as a drug dealer. But the ones that were good, they were good with money most likely anyway.
Yeah, so Trab, man, I done had a good time talking, man. We're going to have some more of these freestyles, although it was supposed to be a freestyle, but I had a subject. But I wanted to freestyle about that because you had said it. But, man, I want to talk about real quick before I get out of here because I got to get out of here. To my sisters, I think what you had said about seeing your baby born, when you don't let a man see his child born and be through that process with you, you rob him of something that would actually attach him to you and the child. Because to me, I feel like if a motherfucker had your child, no matter what, and you see her go through that, like I saw my daughter born, you can't, how you turn your back on that or not want to look out for the person if you love the child. If you got the human decency of a man in you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got a homeboy that, had to tell his wife, hey, if my baby mama needs some, I'm gonna give it to her. And he told her that before they got married. And it was a funny situation because, I was over there. Sometimes you be a fly on the wall and you hear your friend talking to his old lady. And she like, well, if she needs something, she get paid child support, and goddamn, you that's all you need to give her because you pay child support. And this nigga drinking, and I'm in the back, you know what I'm saying? I'm spending the night because we getting on the plane the next day, and Nathan got the and this nigga said, God damn it, if she needs some goddamn milk, you gonna grow titties and goddamn give it to her if I tell you to. And man, that shit was so goddamn funny because he talked about not only will he help his baby mama out, but if she needs some milk, you gonna grow some goddamn titties, because she did have a little small breasts. He just told her, you gonna grow some titties and goddamn start what's they call it, lactate milk, and give it to her. Like, he meant that shit. Like, but he was saying, if I'm gonna marry you, you not gonna motherfucking stop me from looking out for my baby mama if she need help. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah,
and she married that nigga too.
That's real. Let me say this going out on that, man. God is love and love is life. That ain't deep. I wear this symbol on my chest every day of my life, and it ain't no deep religion. It's simply mother, father, and child. It's a religious concept called Jehovah's Witness. When you understand what God is, God, love, and life, and you witness that, when you watch life come out of that woman, that's the purest moment of God in the existence of this universe for anything and everything, the point of birth. And you get an assignment. You get an assignment when you witness God. And as a teacher, when a child misses an assignment, it's a reflection in their grade. So that's the true meaning of Jehovah's Witness. So when you create that, man, I don't care what the circumstances, I don't care what the situations. This ain't deep. Sex make babies. Well, I can't even say that no more, because now you can make babies other ways. But in general, in order, sex makes babies. And these babies, man, come by way of an assignment that's assigned to them. So if you lay down, or however it may be, put your ego aside. And a lot of times we don't talk about egos when it comes to women. We think egos is a man thing, but egos ain't about man or woman. It's a real thing. Yeah. Ego versus consciousness. So women, you got to put your ego aside. Men, put your ego aside and be conscious that it's an assignment that comes with their baby. And if you got two families, or if you got two baby daddies, then you just play that many more positions. Whether it's offense, defense, but you got to wake up every day and run the play. And that's for who matters and what matters to them. Ain't no alternative to this, brothers and sisters.
Well, you already know what time it is. Y'all stay tuned in, tapped in, and turned on. This is my guy Trab, man. Trab, I'm gonna get you to send me some sounds to put into my pad. So, sometime when you say something, you might say, "Oh Lord," some little sounds. We're gonna call them the Trab sounds, and I'm gonna use them for, like, if I need to say, or something like somebody said something dumb or something good, or I got these pads. So say, for example, this one right here. Somebody say something dumb, but I don't want to use those. I want, if somebody says something dumb, I want you to be able to sing some shit like "Poach," you know what I'm saying? Bless his heart, you know what I'm saying? So some shit that I'm gonna use. I need 8 of them, so we gonna rap about it, man. I want that shit to be good, like that thing when that nigga said, "Oh hell no," you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some shits like them just to put a nail to some, you know what I mean, shit. But yeah, man, we're gonna get out of here, man. Y'all tune in to us tomorrow night. Me and Miss Carla for Ranting and Raving and Wednesdays. Y'all tune in to Trab Thursday night on Facebook at 9:30. Hey man, just give me a text or something right before your show so I can share your show.
Okay.
I be forgetting sometime, you know what I'm saying? And then when you send it in the messenger, it won't let me share it from the messenger.
Okay.
So just give me a text. So once you go on, I'm like, boom, I'm gonna share it. But man, we appreciate y'all. Y'all stay tuned in, tapped in, turned on. We'll see y'all later. And as my man say, stay above the bullshit.
Come on.
Peace.